Gillian Litherland. She's 10 years of age. She attends Peter and Paul's primary school at Hurstfinch. There she is out centre field with the State's captain Shane Cooper. Big day for young Gillian. Nice to see a lady mascot for a change. A lot of female support in the rugby league. It is a family game, not like the old round ball game, you know what I mean, where they have to segregate them. But anyway, there's Gillian, centre field. Her hobbies are watching Saints, obviously, home and away, swimming and reading, and her favourite player is Gary Conley. He's out injured today with an ankle injury, but I'm sure it won't spoil Gillian's day. The Saints team for today, a few changes, with Phil Beavers at full-back, Sullivan, Rapate, Loughlin and Quirk are the three quarters, Griffiths and Bishop are the half-back partners, with Ward, Mann, Farber in the front row, Harrison, Nicol and Cooper the back three, Riley and Groves are the substitutes. The whole outfit, full-back Richard Gay, a three-quarter line of Eastwood, Ronson, Blacker and Turner, Mackey and Smirk are at half-backs, with Spring, Jackson and Dannett the front three, McNamara, Walker and Sharp the back three, with Dixon and Jones as substitutes. Saints captain there, Shane Cooper, centre field with Gillian Litherland, and I think it's Greg Mackey is the captain for Hull. Just the formalities. Today's referee, Mr. Vallanti. I think he's from Batley, but he's one that we haven't had as of late. I know we have had him in the first grade before, but whether he's been kind of demoted or whatever, we don't know. Anything can happen with these referees of late. But there's the match day mascot, Gillian Litherland, just going over to the far side, over to the paddock entrance. Probably take her place, meet her mum and dad or whoever's with her today, and she'll enjoy the rest of the match. It's Saints to kick off, playing down to the clubhouse end. Saints got to keep up the charge for the challenge on the championship. Obviously the old pie eaters there, they're at the top. A game in hand, 2 points in the lead, but it's Bishop to get us underway. Hull will drive it up. Their coach, Noel Cleal, excellent campaigner in his own right in his playing days, but solid tackling. Kevin Ward doing the job there. George Mann in the unaccustomed position of hooker today. Obviously a Mike McClellan planned ploy, but it's Hull turning it inside. Strong running forwards. Back to Eastwood, they kick up field. Tony Sullivan well positioned. Played up there at Humberside for Hull Kingston Rovers. His dad, the late great Clive Sullivan, donned both shirts in the Humberside clubs in his illustrious career. But it's Saints in possession and being Dannett there lying on a bit. But he's penalised, and the first penalty of the game going the Saints' way. Bill Beavers finds touch. George Mann quickly up there to play it. Bishop inside to Kevin Ward. Hull come in, but Ward breaks through. He's brought down midway between the Hull 25 and the halfway. Young Bishop again, on to Sonny Nicol, running strong. John Griffiths, fresh back after international duty, as is Anthony Sullivan. Played for Wales last Sunday, but it's George Mann again. Quickly on to Paul Farber. It's on the 25. Farber being forced temporarily back, but plays the ball now. Bishop, Saints move it along the line. Loughlin, good ball. Rapati there, steaming through. Plays it. Cooper taking up the running now. Comes back to George Mann. He sees the gap. He turns round. He drives for it. He's still going forward. He's George Mann, shrugging them off with consummate ease. Sixth and final tackle now, as Tia Rapati just receiving treatment. Back pass from Beavers to Bishop. It's now with Cooper. Saints keep it going. Loughlin on the far side. It's Quirk. He chips it, but it's gone into touch. I think it's gone in off a Hull body. It may be a scrum down with a Saints feed. I think it is the Saints' feed on the far side. Bishop has the ball in his hand. Yes, excellent work from the Saints. Saints win scrum possession. They spread it out. Griffiths. Good ball to Beavers. Takes it well. Beavers can't get up, but no penalty this time. Griffiths again on to Kevin Ward. He's driving towards the line. 5 yards short. Saints putting the charge on. It's Cooper and Griffiths. Good ball to Nickel. Just couldn't flick it up to Rapati. Excellent tackling by Hull this time. But Saints will move it inside. Bishop sees the gap, goes for it. Just couldn't duck under the tackle. Solid play from the Saints. Power play on the Hull line. Beavers lofted cut-out ball to George Mann into space. Good tackling again. Certainly the Hull tackling is held firm. It'll have to hold firm. Harrison though going for the line now. Farber looming up on his right. Harrison couldn't release it. Sixth and final tackle now. Bishop chips it through. But Hull have possession. Lachlan completes the tackle. The sun's coming out now after a dismal morning over here in St Helens. But Hull spreading it. Nickel wraps his man up and dispatched him to the earth to tackle. Well, how can it be a knock-on, man? The ball's come out of his hands in the tackle. Advantage should have been played, but the referee gives a knock-on. And from the resulting scrum, Saints there being penalised. Shane Cooper's just inquiring as to the decision, but Mr Valenti there obviously incurring the wrath of the crowd, the Saints team and possibly the video crew. We not available for comment. But Hull fine touch just inside the Saints half. Spring, Peter Spring, this big Aussie forward, driving it up. Rapati and Farber wrap him up. Now it's with Lee Jackson. Well, a forward pass there to Dannett. But it's Jackson again, attacked in half-back. Takes it infield there. On to Terry Smirk. He gets a shot of it. Hull has spreading it. Quick pass in there. Brian Blacker taking up the running. Good rugby from Hull. Saints have to get back and defend. Hull spreading it about from one end to the other. Well, the touch judge on the far side there. Beavers and Bishop in at the tackle. And the touch judge is indicating that the man having a face massage, the player being tackled, Phil Beavers is the man that's brought out, and Hull will get a penalty. And the referee right on the job over on the far side, but he didn't spot anything. Hull with a spirited attack, but it's an attack that should never have been, because the player had lost the ball just outside his own 25. The referee didn't allow play on. He gave a scrum down. The Saints were penalised from that scrum, and then Hull spread the ball up and nearly scored at the other end. So while Hull will take the penalty, I'll give a birthday mention for the 4th of April to Yvonne Breers. Happy birthday, Yvonne, from Dad Harry, Sister Sharon, also your mum, everyone here at the Saints, all the mob that you stand with, the Saints video team. So happy birthday, Yvonne Breers, for your 18th birthday, the 4th of April. You'll be able to win the pubs legally now, Yvonne, won't you? Make a bit of a change. So it's Eastwood. 10 yards in, just inside the 25-yard line. Looking for the first points from today's encounter. Eastwood comes up to strike it. Waved away, doesn't go dead. Sullivan takes it, but he's taken in his in-goal area. Hull moving up quickly, certainly very quickly there from that kick. Far be it from us to say that they were offside on this side, but they moved up exceptionally quickly. Last week, Saints, they nearly blew it. 30 points to 6 up, 23 minutes to go. They just came through with the points at 30 points to 28. But anyway, We kept the league points. We need them today. You've got to keep up the charge on the Pie Eaters. And didn't they do well yesterday, eh? 71 points to 10 in the semi-final. But Bradford, they was rubbish, weren't they? Couldn't tackle up, did they? But it's all now in possession. Saints forced to defend. Mackey, quick play, brings it to Spring. On the blind side, he'll have to be clamped, this man. Sonny Nicol round the top, Rapati round the legs. Smirk onto Dannett. Hull charging up to the Saints 25. McNamara moving it crossfield. Mackey chips it through. Beavers comes in. Takes it, no problem. There's Phil Beavers. Fearless Beavers comes in there. Loughlin from acting half back, but Hull moving up exceptionally quickly. John Harrison now driving up to the 25. Saints will have to line out now, withstand the storm. Yes, offside on the referee's left. He's finally picked it out this time. George Mann moves over quickly, and Phil Beavers will come up and boot the ball into touch on the popular side here, I would imagine. No, he's going for the main stand side. Thought he was looking over here, but obviously decided to go over to the main stand. So George Mann will restart. Kevin Ward. Power play from Ward. Bishop inside to Harrison, change of direction. Harrison gives the hand off and Spring comes in to complete the tackle. Blind side now from the Saints. Farber bursting through, gets the ball away to Quirk. Can Quirk go into the corner? Yes! He's in! The touch judge is there. Mr. Valenti gives the try and Les Quirk's in. Super play from the Saints. They moved it blindside. Farber involved in that. Excellent pass out to Les Quirk. He took it well, and Les Quirk's in the Saints home a few times in positions like that. He dove in at the corner. An excellent try from Les Quirk. His 9th of the season, and we all remember last season in the corresponding fixture here at Nosey Road when the Saints came through there with a last-minute try from Les Quirk. The old well-famed orgasmic try that gave the Saints the 12 points to 10 win, and that was in the dying seconds of the game. But it's Les Quirk that opens the scoring this afternoon for the Saints. 4 points to nil after 9 minutes, and a Paul Loughlin conversion to come. As you can see, just outside the 25 and only a foot or so in from touch. Let's hope Loughlin's as successful as he was last week. Excellent kicking from Loughlin on his first full start. 5 out of 5 he kicked, but that's waved away this time. Falls short. Waved away by the touch judges, but Saints in the lead, 4 points to nil. Hull to get us underway. Saints sitting back in good style there. Moved it well from midfield. Blindside ploy from the Saints, and Quirk finished off. Eastwood restarts. Out to Les Quirk. Makes sure, knocks it down with his foot, but he's lost possession. It comes back. Yes, definitely gone back, that Mr. Valenti. That's a correct decision. Notice we always give credit to the referee as well as a little bit of criticism when it's due. But it's Cooper attacking half-back. Kevin Ward on the dummy run. It goes to big John Harrison. And Harrison makes 10-15 yards forward movement. Cooper beats the marker, but it's a knock on that. Yes, knock forward. He tried to beat the marker. Well, he did beat the marker, did Shane Cooper. Tried to get it round the man, but unfortunately Jackson knocked it to ground. A knock on. Scrum down with the Saints feed. Bishop out to John Griffiths. Line side again, it's Cooper weaving his way through. Mackey and Brian Black are bringing to ground, but it's George Mann. Strong runner out wide. Wants to get up for a quick play of the ball, but just being mauled a bit. Bishop spreads it out there. Griffiths, Rapati. Good ball to Beavers, back to Rapati. Out to Loughlin, takes it well, but well clamped. Over on that far side. Jackson quickly in. Sixth and final tackle of this set. The ball back to Beavers. Grubbers it for touch. Just knocked in field. Richard Gay, the fullback, gathers it. He's on a run. Moving well is Richard Gay. Gets up to the halfway line, or just short of the halfway line. Back to where Beavers had kicked the ball. Sonny Nicol in with a tackle. Man and ball. Clamps him well. Bounces him to the ground. Smirk. Inside ball. Dannett it is. Coming through. Big handful this Dannett. Very friendly with Ellery Hanley, I believe, this Dannett. But it's Hull in possession. Right, virtually on the centre spot. Now with Mackey. Sees the gap. Drives for it, but well clamped. The gap opened and it closed just as quickly with Shane Cooper and John Harrison completing the tackle. Last tackle for Hull. Well, two forward passes there in the movement, right in front of us. But it was on the sixth tackle. They kicked through and Beavers gathered it. Finally brought down in front of the sticks, about 12 yards out. But unbelievable, that two forward passes in quick succession. Sonny Nicol bursting through. McNamara and Spring bring him down. Now with Kevin Ward. Looking to release, he gets it away to Sonny Nicol. He shrugs the tacklers off, does Nicol. Gets the ball round his man to Cooper. Saints keep it going, Griffiths. Lofted ball to Tony Sullivan. Can't take his man on the outside. Good cover defence there. Neil Turner wraps him up. They miss Farber out. Ball going crossfield. Saints moving it now. Inside ball to Paul Loughlin. On to Griffiths. Oh, superb rugby for the Saints. Out to Tony Sullivan. Oh, go on, Sully. Oh, lucky there. Excellent movement from the Saints. 65 yards. And Sullivan just forced into touch in the bottom right-hand corner. Superb rugby from the Saints there. Excellent midfield, into passing rugby, nearly finished off by Sullivan. He tried to take his man on the outside, but excellent cover defence forced him into touch right at the corner. Scrum down with the Hull feed. It'll be Smirk to feed. We're just lacking a football. Smirk now to feed the scrum. So it's 2-1 on the scrum feed, I make it. Well, look at that. Oh, dear me. Never saw the scrum at all. Bounced off the prop forward, come back out. The scrum half took it, went behind the pack, and the referee's right there and he lets it go. Hull in possession on the far side. Eastwood. I think it is moving out wide. Good run from Hull. Well, forward pass again. Dear me. We've had about 5 forward passes and we've only had 15 minutes of play and the referee's never picked one up. Penalising the Saints there for pulling the man's ankle, not allowing him to get it up and play the ball. But it's Saints still in the lead, 4 points to 0, 16 minutes on the clock. And Eastwood, he finds touch on the Saints 25-yard line. But excellent play from the Saints, deep in their own half, and nearly scoring in the corner with Tony Sullivan. Jackson to restart, on to Spring. He turns in the tackle, he's looking to release, but excellent clamp tackling from the Saints. But it's Hull putting a charge on. Well, Dannett comes through. Another forward pass. Sounding very repetitious this, but it's only what's going on, isn't it? 5 yards from the Saints line now. Hull play the ball. Smirk along the line. McNamara takes them on. George Mann wraps him up. Well, it's round the chest. The referee blows up. He goes in. There's no question of a high tackle there. Nothing in that tackle at all. And another error of judgment by the man in the middle. Right round the chest. Excellent clamp tackling from George Mann. But yet, referee Valanti just reading in the riot act. And the penalty's gone to Hull. So Hull Hull with a penalty, and while he's lining his kick up, Eastwood, a very special mention to Mrs. Ellis. She's a regular here at the Saints. I think she's home, definitely home and away. But when we went to Bradford the other week, we was on the top of the cabins. It was a BSB match. We was out there, and it was perishing. I just mentioned about being fixed up with balaclavas, and Mrs. Ellis has certainly done us a good job. Thank you very much. She sent us 2 balaclavas up here, so thanks very much. I'm sure for the cold weather we'll be very proud and pleased to wear those, Mrs. Ellis. Thanks very much. So it's Eastwood now, right in front of the stick. Shouldn't have any problem. 4 points to 0 the score. And Steve Crooks, the assistant coach here at Hull, on the pitch. But Eastwood strikes it well, brings Hull back into the game at 4 points to 2 with 18 minutes gone. Referee Volante penalising the Saints right in front of the sticks for an alleged high tackle by George Mann, which there was nothing in it at all. Right round the chest, excellent tackle from George Mann, but it's cost the Saints 2 points. And we've certainly had a lot of inconsistency from the chappies in the middle over the last few games. It's Hull in possession. Smirk keeping it going, this lively scrum half. He's come from local amateur rugby up at Hull as Smirk, come late on in his career. I know he's not all that old, it's certainly with having a little lacking on the top. Not much thatch on top that makes him look a bit older, but he's live wire there, buzzing about with Greg Mackey. But it's back to Eastwood. He kicks it upfield. Sullivan takes it cleanly, then sets off, moving crossfield. He's brought down just outside the 25. Saints in possession, George Mann, dummy into the left, then moving it to the right. Moving forward 10 yards, Hull, all offside. But Saints spreading it, Bishop over the top to Cooper. He takes it to Tony Sullivan again, he's inside is Sullivan, over the halfway line. Well, Spring offside there, the referee looked at him. Didn't penalise him, but it's Saints in possession, and Griffiths has to take the tackle on the halfway line. Kevin Ward taking it up centre field. Last tackle of the set. Ward plays it to himself, no marker. Turns it inside to Bishop, but it's still loose. Jackson has it. Jackson's going away. Rapati will have to chase him, but it looks as though Jackson's going under the sticks. Yes, Hull come up with a try. One against the run of play, must be said. Well, an error from the Saints there, in my opinion. Kevin Ward, he played it to himself. It was on the 6th tackle. The ball came infield. It was fed infield. And then it was just thrown anywhere. Jackson picked it up. He did well. Unfortunately, Phil Weaver's just missed the tackle. Very awkward to catch him. With Saints pressing up and then having to defend. But Rapati turned to chase him. He couldn't. Les Quirk came from the left wing. They couldn't take him. And Jackson went under the sticks unopposed. Puts Hull in the lead by 6 points to 4. And no problem. Eastwood will pop this conversion over. So no problem for Eastwood there. He's 10 yards out, so right in front of the sticks. 6-4 the score. And this should make it 8. He's just lining up, composing himself. You shouldn't need all that much composure right under the stick, should you? Strikes it well. Great Britain winger, Paul Eastwood. Slots it between the uprights. 8 points to 4 the score. And we've had 22 minutes of the game gone. Sir Paul Bishop lofts it high. John Sharp underneath it. Saints coming to complete the tackling. Well, Shane Cooper quickly round the man there. That's right. No marker. And Saints win the ball. Nickel, Cooper, out to Forber. Gives the dummy, drives for the line. 5 yards short. Well, it must be a penalty to the Saints this time. Eastwood in at the tackle, interfering with Paul Forber as he's on the ground there in his efforts to get up and play the ball. It'll be a penalty to the Saints. I think it's Eastwood that's going to be spoken to. But excellent play from Saints captain Shane Cooper on the far side there. Hull got up to play the ball. He played it quickly, no marker, and Cooper was round there like a flash and got the possession. Paul Loughlin going to have a go for goal. Saints trailing 8 points to 4. Now I have a special Mother's Day request here. Barbara Moss, one of our regular contributors. Happy Mother's Day, Barbara, from son Andrew, also Stephen, with Sue Howell, Lisa and Trish and Holty, and also the Saints video team. And thanks once again, Andrew, for the fruit juices. As you know, Andrew, and as your mum knows, I'll take a bribe off anybody for a mention on the video, especially a bottle of wine. We're not bothered what colour, but thanks very much, and happy Mother's Day to Barbara Moss. Paul Loughlin now looking for his first of the afternoon. A bit easier position from his last effort, but waved away. Hull have possession. The ball didn't go dead. Sullivan comes in. So Hull in possession. Saints will have to get in there, get amongst them, make the tackling count, try to force Hull to make an error while they're in their own 25. Smirk coming through on the break there, but Hull spreading it again. It's out to Turner, he's up the wing. Nickel comes in, excellent tackle by Sonny Nickel, right in front of us here. Bishop marks up and he's pushed off, that's an infringement. It's now with McNamara. But it's going to go dead, is it? No, Phil Vevers will take it. Moves it over, Les Quirk's with him. Vevers, oh, excellent play, down the middle by Vevers. Excellent dummy there from Vevers. Jonathan Griffiths at dummy half. Saints in possession. Phil Vevers took a knock there in that excellent run. 35-yard run. Ward unloads to Bishop. Into Rapati on the opposite diagonal. Inside the Hull half now. Rapati wants to play it quickly. Hull all offside on the referee's left. But Harrison streaking through. Well, what's he do? Don't say he's penalised. Oh, dear me. He's penalised. Hull for offside. He let it go. He let the Saints play on. There was all offside on the referee's left, but he didn't want to know. He let play go. And when Harrison burst through, with Cooper with him, and it had been a certain 6 points from the Saints, he blew up and penalised Hull for being offside. My, oh my, I tell you. Some of these fellas should be done under the Trades Descriptions Act. There's no danger about that. So we opened the season, this season at Hull, had an excellent win up at the Boulevard there, 31 points to 10. We've not had the best of fortune in Yorkshire. 5 losses all the way, 4 in Yorkshire. Halifax, Wakefield, Featherstone and Kingston Rovers. 2 draws, Leeds and Castleford. And we should have won both of those, shouldn't we? With the decision that didn't go our way. But it's Loughlin. Well, he's not got his kicking boots on this afternoon. Up to now was Paul. Unfortunately, 3 he's missed. And that was the best opportunity of the 3. Last season, as I said, we won here in the last seconds, 12 points to 10. We lost at the Boulevard by 20 points to 14. We're down at present today here, 8 points to 4, with 13 minutes of the half remaining. But an excellent kick-off there, just beating Les Quirk on the far side, going in behind him. We are scrum down with the Saints feed. So Hull putting pressure on the Saints there, pegging them in their own 25. Bishop comes up with scrum possession, now with Jonathan Griffiths. Hull lying on, they want it well, yes, as we were just saying, Hull lying on, they wanted a quick play the ball. Cooper takes it quickly after Sharp was lying on, but it's Tony Sullivan. Excellent tackle there from Neil Turner. Vivers kicks it through, that's going to be another 6 tackles. Rapati inside to Vivers, takes it well, under pressure. Bishop at dummy half. Saints going through the repertoire now, looking for that chink in the Hull armour. Good ball from Ward to Bishop. He's breaking through his Bishop man, he's backing up. Cooper, Saints spread it now, over to Rapati. Stood in the tackle, gets it away to Forber, out to Griffiths, unlucky. He puts it down, a knock-on will be indicated. Saints looking to make a substitution with Paul Forber. He's looking to be replaced by Paul Groves. That means Groves will slip in at the hooker and George Mann will revert to prop when the change has been made. Puts a scrum down, Hull feed, Smirk feeds, and Smirk gets the ball from the base of the scrum this time. Actually went in the scrum this time. Eastwood coming away from acting halfback. Nichols stops him, Cooper completes the tackle, Hull in possession. Jackson at acting halfback, turns it inside to Smirk. George Mann bounces him to the ground. Saints complete the tackle. And now with Smirk, I think that is, that kicks it through. Vivers should take it comfortably, but he lets it run dead. So Saints will restart with a tap from the centre of the 25, a substitution. We're hoping to make a substitution. But referee, the touch judge was on, but the referee didn't see him. Saints keeping it moving now. John Harrison, centre field, just short of the halfway line. He's taking a knock there as John Harrison. Oh, he's all right now. Gets up and plays the ball. Yes, he has taken a bit of a knock. As George Mann brings the ball further 10 yards forward. Bishop, good ball to Kevin Ward. Grove still waiting to come on, but whether the number's going to be changed, as he was going to bring Paul Farber off, but whether Harrison can run that knock off. Griffiths, excellent work by Griffiths. Inside ball to Nickel, and then, oh dear me, he's joking. He's got to be joking. The final pass rule forward. We've had half an hour of the game, and that's the first forward pass he's seen, and all have had about 5, and that's the Saints there that's pulled up with the liner begging. Shows you what the popular side think of him. But it's forward that's being brought off. Whether it's a tactical ploy or not, but Hull will win scrum possession. Turner goes in field. Richard Gay bringing it away onto Mackey, turns in field. Groves wraps him up. Bishop comes in again and they force Mackey back. Richard Gay attacking halfback. Bring it blindside now. Spring, he's well wrapped up. He manages to get it away. The touch judge is on there. I think there's a little bit of mauling in the middle, but nothing we can't handle. McNamara out to Mackey. Taking it crossfield, the Saints cover defence comes in quickly. But it's Hull now, leading by 8 points to 4. They've got the bit between the teeth. Certainly Saints not getting the rub of the green as far as the man in the middle is concerned. Eastwood kicks it through, Les Quirks takes it. Here comes crossfield, does Les. Strong runner. He's brought down just short of his own 25. Smirk completing the tackle. Hull all offside yet again. Mackey it is this time. And Hull making a substitution now. They're bringing Smirk off. And Mike Dixon's going on. Smirk there being substituted. Saints have been awarded a penalty. This Dixon, he's a versatile campaigner. He's not in at the second row hooker or wherever. But I would imagine he'll be in at the scrum half. Takes fine touch on the halfway line. Quickly played, and George Mann. Groves at dummy half. Turns it inside to Kevin Ward. Took it well. Ward trying to unload. It's tidied up by Rapati. He brings it blindside. He sees the gap, does Rapati. Good ball to Griffiths. Excellent play. Out to Sullivan. Threading his way through is Sullivan. Just being forced in. Well, he gets it away. Saints keep it alive. Excellent ball playing there from Sullivan. And Richard Gaines. Sullivan just sparring up there, but it's Saints on the charge. Ward inside to Cooper. Cooper breaks free of the tackle. Out to John Griffiths. Yes, he's in. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, is there, Mr. Volante? Jonathan Griffiths finishing off some excellent teamwork there from the Saints. Shane Cooper instrumental in midfield, finally getting that ball away. Some sterling work from the Saints, but you can certainly credit a lot of that try to Tony Sullivan. He was going down the wing. There was three Hull FC players had hold of him. They was ready to bungle him into touch. Sullivan fed it inside to Griffiths. Must have been about 2 or 3 movements there, Griffiths. Then it was fed inside. Cooper back to Griffiths, and he dove over about 10 yards in from the corner flag here, the scoreboard corner. All level now, 8 points apiece, and an important kick now for Paul Loughlin. Still waiting to register his first points this afternoon. 6 minutes before the interval, and Saints pull back on level terms. Is it going to curl in? Yes, it is. Excellent kick from Loughlin. Yes, he smiles. He likes that one. He'll be pleased to get that under his belt, and Saints in the lead now at 10 points to 8. The Saints sitting back in good style. They played some excellent rugby. We just haven't had the rub of the green. An Eastwood penalty goal, and then a Jackson try. It must be said, off a Saints mistake on the 6th tackle. Saints were made to pay for their mistake, but now they've hit back. They're in the lead. They're only by 2 points. Well, Sharp coming in there round Loughlin's neck. He's only about 6'4", he's Loughlin, isn't it? Isn't he, I should say. But obviously that's okay this time. Groves at dummy half. Dixon trying to interfere there at the play of the ball, but Hull forced to get back onside. Groves wants a quick play the ball. George Mann, Bishop changes direction, gets it away to Cooper. Good ball to Rapati into space. Sullivan couldn't take it cleanly this time. Well, McNamara going down very heavily on Tony Sullivan in the tackle, but Tia Rapati trying to get the ball away. Unfortunately, Tony Sullivan couldn't take it. It was an awkward ball, it must be said. 4 minutes before the interval, Saints in the lead by 10 points to 8. Hull get ball possession from the scrum. Dixon there in possession. Mackey bringing it away onto McNamara. Sharp onto McNamara, and that certainly looked to hint forward. It's Sharp again, running hard, looking to turn it inside. Greg Mackey at acting halfback. Down as well, a mile forward there. Don't tell me he's seen one. He's actually seen a forward pass. Full marks, Mr. Volante. Correct decision this time. Scrum down, Saints feed, 10 yards inside the Saints half. Bishop feeds it, Saints have possession and they move it quickly. Griffith sees the gap. Loughlin at dummy half, onto Beavers, blindside ploy again. Cooper just losing his footing, unlucky there. Well, second tackling by Sharp on the far side. But Saints charging again, it's Harrison. He's run that knock-off, took a knock, well, knees going in again there by Dannett on John Harrison. Kevin Ward Ward streaking through. Inside ball to Bishop. Groves is with him. Can Groves outpace? Yes, he can. Oh, excellent try by Groves. Yes, superb rugby from the Saints. And Grove finishes off in good style, just to the right of the sticks. Paul Groves not been on the score sheet as much as he'd like to be of late. It's his 7th try of the season, but it's that old warhorse in the centre fielder, Kevin Ward, leading the charge, checking up the running, slipped a lovely ball inside to Bishop, and then it was Groves that finished it off in good style. Good ball from Bishop to Groves. Richard Gay was coming across, but he didn't have enough pace to actually stop Groves. His impetus was taking him towards the line, and he dove over. He was tackled, and he bounced it down right on the whitewash there. Paul Loughlin now, he'll bang this between the uprights. Excellent conversion from Loughlin, eases the Saints pressure a little bit. 16 points to 8 now. 2 tries, 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes, and just before the half-time interval. Certainly how a game can change, as we know from last week. 30 points to 6 up, as I said before, and then the final score 30-28. Saints trailing 8 points to 4 in the 20th minute, even though with certainly a little help from uninterested parties, or parties that should be uninterested. But it's Griffiths looking very sharp. He had an excellent game for me in the Wales versus France international. But it's Sonny Nicol running hard and strong. 16-8 to score. With about 30 seconds on my watch before the interval. Wouldn't it be nice if Saints could get another? Beavers inside to Rapati, threading his way through, just taking the tackle. Mackey going in a little enthusiastically, it may be said. And Rapati there, one of the mildest mannered persons you could wish to meet. But it's Cooper keeping it going. He chips it through. Can Sullivan take it? No. Neil Turner takes the ball. Well, there's the half-time hooter. Bang on the 40 minutes. That no stoppage time at all. An excellent first half for the Saints. Quirk opened the scoring in the 9th minute. That was 4 points to 0. Then it was Hull with an Eastwood penalty. Then a Jackson try converted by Eastwood, and Ulbert in the lead 8-4. But in the last 4 minutes, as I said, in the 33rd minute, a Griffiths try converted by Loughlin, and then 4 minutes later, that superb try by Paul Groves, converted by Paul Loughlin again, to the half-time score here at Nosey Road. Saints 16, Hull 8. Welcome back for the second half of the Stones Bitter League clash. Saints in the lead, 16 points to 8 at half-time. And a very special mention now to a couple of friends of ours from Humberside. It's Bert and Jan Chapman, also the grandson Josh. We were on holiday with them in Cyprus last year. We had a good chat about rugby and what have you. And while we was bringing rugby up, before I mentioned anything, Bert mentioned about the podium there at Hull, which Crusher Cleal uses, Crow's Nest, which Brian Smith used to have, and I just mentioned to Bert, I said I've been thrown off there. I mean, it's not everybody that's been thrown off there, is it? But he said he'd watch the video, because we actually did the video for Hull that day. So fancy all those thousands of miles going on your holidays and dropping on a chap that's already heard your video, so not bad. Anyway, special mention to Bert and Jan Chapman. Also Bob and Dot Good from Barrow. They were on holiday with us as well. But it's Hull now, trailing 16 points to 8. 40 minutes to go. Saints have to keep the charge up as the games go by. It's certainly looking as though the old pie eaters are going to retain the title. As I said before, they're 2 points clear and a game in hand. But it's Hull to kick off, playing down to the clubhouse end. Paul Loughlin takes it. Breaks out of the tackle, just manages to keep hold of his ankle. Does the Hull defender. Now it's Sonny Nicol, stretching up midfield. Good burst from Sonny, up to the halfway line. He wants a quick play of the ball, but he was fouled there. Saints take it blindside, Rapati. Shrugging the tacklers off. Still going is Rapati, tremendous upper body strength on this fella. I don't know whether he's actually signed a 2-year contract, but Saints are in the process of offering him one. Jonathan Griffiths looks for the gap, looks very sharp, does Griffiths. Farber now, he's back on at the interval. Inside, oh well, that's a high tackle, isn't it, by McNamara? It's no good apologising now, man, is it? Well, McNamara with the red card after just a minute of the second half. Terrible high tackle on Paul Bishop. Excellent burst by Paul Farber. Inside ball to Bishop, and then Bishop was nearly decapitated by McNamara. He's been dispatched, red card, and he's down the tunnel. Hull down to 12 men for the remainder of this match. The 39 minutes that are remaining. Paul Loughlin with the penalty. Hoping to extend Saints' lead a little bit further. Saints without Alan Hunt, Gary Connolly, Bernard Dwyer. 3 more or less regulars that have been in the Saints ranks. An awkward problem for Saints coach Mike McClellan when he's got a full quarter. But Loughlin bangs it over, no problem. 18 points to 8. Paul Loughlin penalty after 2 minutes of the first half. As we could see there, McNamara, he was full of remorse, but he'd done the tackle, hadn't he? He'd made the tackle, and that was it. Les Quirk takes it. It's George Mann that's been substituted at half-time. Paul Farber back on for George Mann. Saints in possession. Sonny Nicol bursting through again. Spring, well, the full front row in at the tackle there. Spring, Jackson and Dannett. Jackson in again, and Dannett, and certainly a lot of mauling on Paul Groves. All moving up, but the ball's back to Bishop. Hefty boot, crossfield. Richard Gay has to go right across to gather it. Neil Turner's with him. Saints will have to give him 10 yards, but Gay's on the run. Waved off there is the 10 yards by referee Volante. I think that's Dixon at dummy half. All moving it onto Eastwood. He'd come inside, and David Ronson had gone out onto the wing. Good win last week, Hull, 22 points to 14 against Leeds. Load of rubbish, Leeds out there. £2 million they've spent. What a load of rubbish. But it's Hull trying to vary the play, trying to spread it out. Just penetrating the Saints half now. Cooper and Rapati are the tacklers. Hull taking it blindside. Spring, but excellent inside ball by Hull. On to Spring again. He's spreading it. They're keeping it going to Hull. He throws it anywhere. Just kept in field. But a forward pass on the far side indicated by the referee, and a changeover. Well, Hull there, they managed to keep it in field, but made an error of judgment. A forward pass spotted by the referee on the 6th tackle. The changeover, and Kevin Ward has possession. Groves wants a quick play of the ball. Along the line, Harrison trying to straighten it up. Groves onto Farber, runs hard and strong does Farber, looking for support. Groves was coming, but Farber had to take the tattle. Cooper and Bishop working the loop movement. Bishop brings it back to Kevin Ward. Back to Cooper, Saints. Oh, superb rugby from the Saints, throwing it about. Levers brings it blindside again. John Griffiths, quick ball to Loughlin. Out to Les Quirk, up this wing. Quirk will have to take the tackle. He does well, excellent work from Les Quirk. Puts his foot down and keeps in field. But it's Bishop, crossfield kick, everybody on side. Rapati and Sullivan are chasing it. Neil Turner just manages to well. He does well, does Neil Turner. Support from Hull and they're breaking quickly. But Sullivan covers up again, the ball's loose and Saints have possession. Excellent tackling from Tony Sullivan there. The power of the tackle shook the ball from his hands, and now it's Harrison. Griffiths. Well wrapped up, John Griffiths. Saints bring it blindside with John Harrison. Just taken down, Quirk was on the outside and Dannett coming in a little enthusiasm. Mackey coming in a little enthusiastically and Hull penalised. It's Sharp right in front of the sticks. Cooper plays it quickly onto Vevers. Loughlin out to Rapati. Yes, he's in. Well, Hull penalised for moving up offside. Hull's 12 men. And it was the loose forward John Sharp that was penalised. Shane Cooper moved up quickly, took the quick tap. Saints moved it out to the right, and Rapati dove in 10 yards short of the 10 yards infield, in from the corner flag. Extends the Saints lead now, 22 points to 8. Just had 7 minutes of the second half. So the Saints certainly spread it about, throw the ball about as they have been doing. Let the ball do the work, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more points to come from this afternoon's encounter. Paul Loughlin on the far side, difficult kick again for Paul. About 5 yards in, just outside the 25-yard line. Pop 2 over, beg your pardon, pop 3 over. That one there across the face of the posts, waved away. Hull making a substitution. Mark Jones coming on for loose forward John Sharp. (22-8) the score. 4 tries for the Saints, 3 goals. Les Quirk coming crossfield. And unfortunately, Paul Loughlin, I do beg your pardon, he's missed, I think it's 3 he's missed. We'd see the 3 or 4. But Kevin Ward now driving to the right. Rapati on his outside, good clamp tackling by Hull. They're moving up quickly, they've got to try and do something with the Saints having one-man advantage. Griffiths tidies up. A lot of maul in there at the play of the ball. Russ Walker in there doing a bit of mauling along with David Ronson. But it's now Bishop. Gets the kick away, Richard Gay takes it well. Well positioned was Gay. Harrison wraps him up. Hull in possession, Saints forced to defend. Greg Mackey outside to Mark Jones. He had an excellent game, also in the Welsh squad. Ex-Neath Rugby Union forward. Excellent competitor, hard runner. Once linked with Saints when Alex Murphy was in the reins, in the coaching reins here at Saints. Well, he looked a forward pass as it went over to far side. Dixon couldn't take it cleanly, so it's a knock-on. Scrum down, just outside the Saints 25 with the Saints feed. And Kevin Ward just receiving a little bit of treatment there. Saints physio Jeanette Smith, so the game will just be held up while Kevin Ward receives the treatment. Mike Riley, Saints back substitutes, warming up just in front of us. But Kevin Ward is going to have to come off. I think it's a blood bin substitution. Yes, the blood bin, the referee Valenti holding the cross up. So just a blood bin. And Mike Riley coming on for Kevin Ward. So Mike Riley coming on, a little bit of a reshuffle in the ranks, just while Kevin Ward goes off for treatment. He's been taken directly to the dressing room. Saints have 15 minutes to patch him up. Griffiths gets the ball away to Beavers. Rapati, Saints throwing it about Riley, right in at the action, just losing his footing. A lot of maul in there at the play of the ball. Ronson it is, holding Riley down, but it's Rapati breaking through, going cross-field. Mark Jones wrapping him up. Well, a lot of things going on there, but the referee's picked it out. It's Mark Jones that was going in on Rapati too enthusiastically. Just come on, Mark Jones, a big raw-boned forward, but he's been penalised for it. Saints are awarded a penalty, and I would imagine, yes, the indication is there, the thump going in. Paul Loughlin will have a go for goal. So Kevin Ward picking a knock up there, as we've just said, he's been replaced in the blood bin. 15 minutes now, the Saints have to patch him up one way or another, and then Mike Riley can come back onto the substitutes bench to be used again. But Paul Loughlin more or less in front of the sticks, 35 yards out, 22-8 the score. 11 minutes of the second half already gone. Hull down to 12 men. And if they keep up with tactics and antics like that, going in, thumping and what have you, they'll be down to even less. So Loughlin strikes it well. Yes, the touch judges raise the flags. Another 2 points for the Saints. 24 points to 8. Well, 4 games to go, including today's game. Obviously, Hull at home today, Warrington away next Saturday. Another televised match, as you can probably see or know. This match is being taken by Scrum Down. We can get Scrum Down, even though it's a bit fuzzy. But then we've got the Wigan game on Good Friday. Another televised game. It's not being shown live, but it's going out on Sky. And then Widnes finishing off the actual league campaign. Wigan, they came through yesterday, an excellent win, 71 points to 10. And now they've got a difficult fixture midweek, Wednesday away at Hull Kingston Rovers. Let's hope the other Humberside club can give them a bit of clog. Certainly a difficult place to win on Humberside. Well, both Humberside clubs. Loughlin, good ball there. Stretching the legs is Loughlin, inside to Beavers. Saints lining up, it's back with Loughlin. Saints are lining up, inside to Griffiths. Oh, excellently finished by Jonathan Griffiths. Superb rugby again from the Saints, and yet another long distance try into passing and finished off. Loughlin involved there in about 2 or 3 times in that movement, and finished off by Jonathan Griffiths. Had quite a bit of injury problem early in the season, but come back, bounced back to full fitness. Excellently finished there. He's always there and about buzzing, and he took it well. Saints were lining up, plenty of bodies there. Hull were stretched, not just because they're one man down, but Saints' superior work rate and excellent running, spreading it out. And it's another 6 points for the Saints, courtesy of Loughlin's trusty boot. Yes, 30 points to 8 the score now, as Loughlin gets his 5th goal of the afternoon. Another substitution being made by Hull. Smirk coming back on for Spring. So it's Hull certainly up against it. They have a lot of reshuffling to do in their ranks. They're definitely on the wrong end of the cosh as Eastwood gets things underway with a low kick. Farber does tidy it up. Harrison attacked in half-back. Takes the ball 10-15 yards further towards his own 25-yard line. Farber at dummy half, trying to actually, unfortunately, they're just losing control of the ball. Trying to pass it before he actually got hold of it. Unfortunately, he put it to ground. There'll be a scrum down with a Hull feed. Paul Bishop just gives him a little pat on the bottom there. But it's Smirk to feed. Farber in at the front row. Smirk gets it as the ball comes out, but Gay in the line. Beavers, his counterpart, tackles him. It's now with Smirk. Cooper wraps him up. Excellent tackling by the Saints captain, Shane Cooper. So Hull in the Saints 25, the first time in this second half. It's Smirk again. Somebody's got to inject a bit of pace into this Hull outfit. They've an uphill battle, 30 points to 8. Good running, loose ball. Is it kicked dead? By a Hull body. So Groves, well, certainly an obstruction at the as Groves was coming through by Jackson. He didn't like it, he's come in again. The referee right on the job. It should have been a penalty to the Saints. Well, kicking, that's a free kick, yeah, penalty. Gay it was this time, kicking out before the ball was placed on the ground. I suppose when you're down by 30 points to 8, you're also a man down. You've got to try all sorts, but unfortunately they're being penalised for their errors. We're on about 30 points to 8. It was 30 points to 6 last week, wasn't it? And the final score was 30-28. I can't see that happening this afternoon. Groves brings it blindside. Bishop changing direction. Cooper onto Sonny Nicol, running out wide. Still going is Nicol. Did well, kept his feet there. Dannett, one of the tacklers, along with Eastwood, but Saints still have to run it, spread it. Rapati looking for the gap. Griffiths, Beavers, yes, quick hands. Oh, it's off a Hull player, unlucky there. Riley and Sullivan on the outside. Loughlin tried to get it over and the Hull man just intercepted it. Jackson, I think it was, coming back. He did well to keep hold of it, but it's Hull in possession. Smirk along the line. Dannett straightening up, running down the middle, but there's no way for him there. Sullivan had come in field and John Harrison was there. And Hull spreading it. Jackson again. Onto Ronson. Taking it crossfield. He's on the Saints 25. Excellent work from Hull. 35-yard movement. And now it's coming crossfield. Well, Mackey holds it up well. Nicol brings him to ground. Paul Farber there. Now with Mackey again. Smirk gives the dummy. Well, that's another forward pass. Well, he's picked it up this time. 19 minutes of the half gone. He's picked that forward pass up there to Brian Blacker. Scrum down, Saints feed. And up to now, I can't say we've seen any sign of Kevin Ward. He's been off for nearly 10 minutes. Saints have possession. It's Jonathan Griffiths. Bishop brings it blindside. Cooper, Beavers, just goes to the back of him. The Hull have possession. No, Saints have possession. Well tidied up there by Les Quirk. Went down bravely on that ball. Nicol, but Hull moving up quickly. Moving up exceptionally quickly out of the blocks. A lot of discontent from the popular side faithful about Hull being onside. Dannett going in there on John Harrison, but he gets the ball away to Sonny Nicol. Excellent work from Nicol, still driving up. Well, the ball's lost in the tackle. What about that? We had that earlier on in the game, but Saints didn't get the advantage. Hull allowed to have the advantage this time. They're in possession. They're just outside the Saints 25. They're trailing by 30 points to 8, and Saints are penalised for holding the whole man down. Well, Ronson, I think it is, that comes back. Eastwood, he'll kick for touch. No good going for goal. Left-footed kicker Eastwood finds touch midway between the Saints try line and their own 25. Dixon to restart. Well, they haul in for a try. He's held up. Well, he was actually over the line, and then, well, he's bounced it. Solid tackling from the Saints. Excellent tackling. Dannett there coming through at pace, but solid tackling from the Saints. They come through, and he lost the ball. He bounced it over the line. So Saints start with a 25 tap restart. Griffiths kicks it upfield. Quirk's chasing it, but it's gone into touch. Excellent work there. Hull first forced to turn round. Griffiths, he saw the danger. He had Quirk running up at pace, but Eastwood got back. But the ball beating them both. Kevin Ward now, he's back. He's going to go back on field. 11 minutes he's been off the field of play. He's had a treatment to an arm injury. And Mike Riley will come off. He's been the blood bin exchange player. Smirk to feed, and that was an excellent feed. That right in the back row. Gay tries to straighten up. Well, surely he was tackled, but he got up and ran a further 5 yards. A knock on. Now Saints. Well, Saints are playing on. The ball was knocked on, and Saints playing the advantage, and Hull have to kick it dead. But Kevin Ward, he's gone back in the dugout. So whether he is going to be kept on the bench, and the substitution will be a full one. We've still minutes yet. We've 3 minutes on my clock. 15 minutes we do have for the blood bin. But whether coach Mike McClellan wants to give Kevin Ward the benefit of a little bit of a rest for the remainder of this game. But it's in possession. Rapati running hard and strong. Backs into the tackle, gets up to the 25. Mike Riley attacked in half-back. Saints in command. Now it's Paul Farber. Well, Saints lying a little deep there. When Farber turned, he wanted to unload it. And now it's going along the line here. Bishop and Cooper work the loop movement. Nickel coming through. Powerful run from Nickel. The last tackle just bringing him down. Griffiths. Well, once again, Saints just getting caught. And it's Dixon. But Les Quirk will have him. Come here, me boy. Grabs him by the scruff of the neck. Wrestles him to the ground. Eastwood, instead of getting on with the job, he's trying to poach a penalty. Well, it's on to Ronson. Certainly looked to him forward there. For Eastwood again at dummy half, but it's Hull. Mackey sees the gap, inside ball to Gay. Well, he's lost possession. Saints have it. John Harrison was there. He gathers it, he drives upfield. Good work from Hull. But Saints get back possession. Rapati in the clear, moving over to the right. Leading the merry dance there with the Hull defence. Well, holding down in the tackle. All offside on the referee's right. Cooper again. Griffiths. Good ball to Loughlin. Threading his way through. Gets it away to Cooper. Cooper still moving over to the right. Now back to Tia Rapati, the man that started it. Quick hands from the Saints. Looking for the gaps there. Groves through the gap. Round to Quirk. He'll take him on the outside. He does. Oh, superb Quirk. Oh, just held down short. Beavers at dummy half. Inside ball to Ward. Back on now. Griffith. Yes, Tony Sullivan. Out to Farber. Over the top to Cooper. Yes, Cooper's in. Excellent play from the Saints. Excellently finished by Saints captain Shane Cooper. Les Quirk, I thought he was going to touch down in the corner. The corner he scored at last year's fixture, but Kevin Ward had come back on for Mike Riley. Straight exchange in the blood bin. Quirk couldn't manage to get in. Then the ball was spread right across field, and Shea Cooper finished off in good style. Paul Lachlan with a conversion, yes, between the uprights. 36-8 is the score, and 15 minutes remaining. So 15 minutes remaining, Hull well up against it. Saints keeping the charge for the championship up. Before today, played 22, won 15, drawing those two, losing 5. Got 4, 5, 6, 4, 3, 0, 7 against, and 32 points. For Hull, they're in 10th position. Certainly in danger of the drop. You never know, it's all mathematical at present with the other teams at the bottom end of the table. They played 21, winning 10, losing 11, 20 points in the league, and all penalised for offside, and Saints are going to make them pay again, if at all possible. Well, a good line there from Hull, best line we've seen all afternoon. Bishop onto Farber, straightens it up. All these Saints backing up today, looking excellent for the performance this afternoon. Cooper and Bishop now onto Kevin Ward, running diagonally, trying to draw the Hull defence in. Finally bounced to the ground. Couldn't get on before after he'd come back after being treated, but it's Rapati. Cooper looking for the gaps, he turns it back inside. Well, he has to take the tackle, as Cooper looking to unload, but had to take the tackle as the Hull cover defence came across. Bishop, Rapati threading his way through, back to Sonny Nicol. He's had a big game today as Nicol. Can he finish off in good style? He's still stood in the tackle, is Nicol. Finally bounced to the ground. Cooper now, Saints are taking along the line. Farber, Beavers, they're lining up. Out to Les Quirk. Still going Quirk for the line. Can he just break free of the tackle? Last tackle of this sequence. Paul Groves waiting for the ball. It's out to Beavers. It's chipped through, but Gay has it. Farber clamps him. Thought Groves had taken a knock there, but he's all right. He's shrugged the injury off as Mark Jones has possession for Hull. No, he is receiving treatment, is Paul Groves. Just took a knock there. Jeanette Smith quickly on, and now it's Dannett. And Cooper stops him, he runs into Cooper, and it was like hitting a brick wall. Dannett there, big powerful forward, but he was stopped in his tracks. There he is, Dannett going cross field. Beg your pardon, it was Russ Walker before that Cooper stopped. But now he's Dannett again. Well, a little bit of a fight there, just on the back of us. Unpleasant scenes here. It's been stopped now by the officials, but temper's getting a little frayed. We'd followed the ball, we was on with Russ Walker here, but a little fracas breaking out on the far side. 36-8 the score, 29 minutes of the half gone. And let's see what the referee and the touch judges have to report. Well, Hull there was beaten semi-finalists in the Challenge Cup, beaten by Castleford 8 points to 4. And in my opinion, Hull were the better side over the 80 minutes. They just couldn't finish. They did have a try. They did go over for a try, but it was disallowed. But very unlucky. But they're one man down today, with McNamara being sent off. And Sonny Nichol's going to be spoken to now. Shane Cooper's there in attention. Cooper's the captain. Nicol obviously being sorted out as the perpetrator by the officials, the touch judges. Obviously the referee was following play, same as us. But Nicol, he's been reprimanded. Hull have the penalty. 10 minutes of the game remaining. 36-8 to score, no problem where the 2 points are going. And let's hope our Humberside partners from Kingston Rovers, the old red and whites, can help us along with our task and give the pie eaters a run for the money on Wednesday. Mark Jones, first receiver. Kevin Ward, Paul Farber quickly in. Mike Riley limbering up. Well, he doesn't need any limbering up, has he? He's been on for about 12 minutes. But he's just having a run on the touchline. Look as though he's going to come on for the last 8 or 9 minutes or so. Richard Gay in the line. Cooper wraps him up. Griffiths there. Lends the extra hand. Hull bringing it blindside. Mackey. On to Russ Walker. Excellent tackle by the Saints. Hull still throwing it about. Jackson on to Dixon. Quick play of the ball, Smirk there. It's on to Mackey. He lofts it high. No problem for Beavers. Food and drink for Beavers, that is. Bishop now for the Saints. Cooper. Loughlin now. He's taken down 3 Hull tacklers. But Shane Cooper had an excellent game. Captain's game. Chips it through there for a Rapati. He hacks it on. Richard Gay has to turn in the tackle. Rapati gets him down. It's Turner coming crossfield. Cooper just cutting down the angle. But he goes inside. Good run from Turner. Excellent run from Turner. 2 good side steps as he turns inside. It's Hull. Mackey now bringing it over to the left. Inside pass now back to Mackey. On to Jackson. Inside to... Well, I thought it was inside to Smirk. But it's over this way. It's Blacker. Hull are still spreading it out. It's Mark Jones. The finally tackled right in front of the Saints sticks, 20 yards out. Jackson at dummy half, on to Smirk, moving it over. Long ball, but excellent tackling from the Saints. Good cover defence. Ward quickly in there on the far side. Mackey again, change of direction, running it out wide. Hull have to throw it back in field. Lofted ball again to Mark Jones, he straightens up. Sonny Nicol quickly in round the top. John Harrison round the legs, last tackle of this sequence for Hull. It's now with Mackey. High ball over to the far wing, but it's a knock on. Is it offside? Yes, offside is the indication. Hull with another 6 tackles, so hopefully, as far as they're concerned, get extra points on the board. 36-8 to score. And then bringing it over to the right, inside pass there to Walker. Well tidied up. Just couldn't finish there. Some excellent work by Hull. But solid tackling by the Saints. Mackey onto Walker, I was going to say. But the Hull man in at the corner. And somebody flattened there. Dannett just flattening somebody off the ball. Les Quirk, I think it is, that's been flattened by Andy Dannett. And he's down there, Quirk. He's taken a hefty knock. But number 2 has gone in. Paul Eastwood for the try. But no action taken by the touch judge or the referee. And Les Quirk there was flattened in and off the ball incident by Dannett. A lot of dismay in the Saints ranks. Saints physio Jeanette Smith treating Les Quirk there. Eastwood finished off in the corner. But the club doctor, one of the club doctors just going on there to have a look. But the officials there not picking that up. I'm sure there'll be a lot to be said about that. We know Mr. Dannett, not renowned for his finesse in the tackle, is he? Eastwood pulls it. 36-12 the score. Mike Riley coming on for Les Quirk, and Sharp coming back on for Walker. So Les Quirk being brought off, obviously dazed, looks concussed there. Andy Dannett taking him off the ball, not being picked up by the match officials. But a rousing cheer for Les. Bishop kicks off, and no doubt there'll be a little enthusiastic tackling for the remainder of this game. Ward and Farber quickly in, and Cooper. The Saints faithful get behind them, and no doubt we'll have the last 4 minutes. They'll certainly be enthusiastic. Dixon ducking under the tackling. Cooper brings him down. Now with Dannett. 4 Saints go in there, complete the tackle. He's still not put to ground, but it's Hull moving it wide now. Mackey looking for support, he gets it away to Smirk. He turns in the tackle, but he's well wrapped up by Griffiths and Loughlin. Deep kick, gets the favourable bounce, just beats Mike Riley and finds touch right on the Saints 25. Over latter weeks we've possibly been accused of criticising the referee, but what can you do when you get officials like this? You only shout it, you call it as you see it, and that's it. Jonathan Griffiths named as the sponsors man of the match this afternoon. He's had an excellent display. Cooper's played well, all the Saints have played well this afternoon. They all go in the same pot anyway, but Griffiths man of the match. Well done, John Griffiths. Long ball there, no chance of taking that, unlucky. Paul Loughlin tried to get it out wide. Tony Sullivan couldn't take it. The ball going into touch, a scrum down now with a Hull feed just outside the Saints 25. Smirk feeds it, he gets the ball from the base of the scrum. Nickel comes in quickly, breaks quickly and wraps him up. Hull in possession, 36-12 the down. Richard Gay coming in, he's got to come in from the full-back position. They are a man down, well, I disagree with that, it can't be a knock-on because the ball came back, but it's going to be a scrum down with the Saints feed. Richard Gay was protesting, and we've seen stronger referees than this penalise people for protesting for the referee's decisions. Bishop wins it, it's over to Rapati, out to Sullivan. Hits the ball in field. Now with Bishop, along the line, Cooper, Beavers, Saints are lining up, here's man of the match, Griffiths. He chips it, Beavers is chasing it, Griffiths was impeded. Hull kick it dead, and there should be a penalty to the Saints there, as Griffiths was impeded as he chipped it through. Just elbowed off the ball, but Hull had to get back quickly. Beavers was chasing up there as well. Last week here we saw the referee on that day give a penalty try under the sticks, obviously, as a penalty try is to Halifax. But Hull forced to drop out from between the sticks. Eastwood lofts it high, Farber takes it well, builds up a head of steam, drives into the Hull defence, looking for support, he gets it away to Bishop. He's the gap, does Bishop, tries to duck under it, he still evades the tackle. Now it's with Beavers, out to Rapati, running strong, oh, superb! Pick the ball down of that! Well, an excellent finish by Tia Rapati to a tremendous team performance by the Saints this afternoon, even though Hull are down to 12 men. But Tia Rapati goes in for his second. 40 points to 12. Simplest of conversions for Paul Loughlin. Strikes it well, no problem. Loughlin's 7th of the afternoon. 7 tries on the board. And I think he's missed about 4, as Paul in the first half just couldn't get it together early on. But come together at the latter stages. Even though Huller down. But excellent work there by Rapati. Still had to be scored. Moves swiftly on the far side. Excellent strong runner in the dying minutes now. Eastwood there shaking his head. I don't know what he's got to shake his head about. 42-12 the score. Excellently finished there. Low kick by Eastwood. Sits up for Farber. Drives into the defence. There's the final hooter. Well finished off there by the Saints as Farber takes the tackle. A good game, just one little flare up. Both teams exchange handshakes. But the Saints to come round, applaud the crowd, finish off by 42 points to 12. 7 tries and 7 goals for the Saints. Tries from Les Quirk, 2 from Jonathan Griffiths. Paul Groves had 1, Rapati just with his second at the death, and Shane Cooper on the board as well. 7 Paul Loughlin goals. Jonathan Griffiths the man of the match. Saints keeping up the charge at the top end of the table. 42-12 the final score. Hull with 2 consolation tries, you could say, but we're at Warrington this Saturday. Another televised match. It's on Granada. 2 o'clock kick-off, I think, a 2:05 kick-off. We'll be there. We hope you can join us again. Thanks once again for being with us. You've been with your Saints video team, and we'll see you at Wilderspool, Warrington, this Saturday.